Jamie Carragher attacks Mohammed Salah yet again. Big up to everybody that's here. Thank you all for stopping by, checking out this video. Do me a massive favor. Hit the like button if you haven't already and subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated from each and every single one of you. But we are here yet again discussing this Mohammed Salah saga. Now, I thought this saga was dead and buried until I watched The Overlap. The Overlap featured a segment on it with Gary Neville, Jill Scott, Ian Wright, Roy Keane, and of course, Jamie Carragher, who has not let this drop. He's not let this slide. He's been at this with like a dog with a bone. He has not let this go at all. And he has once again called out Mohammed Salah in this segment on The Overlap that we're going to be watching and we're going to be looking at. But yet again, this is madness to me. For those of you who don't know, been living under a rock these past couple of weeks, Salah drops an explosive interview in the aftermath of Liverpool's 3-3 draw with Leeds United. He calls out the manager, calls out the club, he even name drops Jamie Carragher and says that he is prepared for the backlash and the response that Carragher will give to Salah because he has done it before in the past. And Carragher took that personally. He went on Sky Sports, he gave his response. It was a baffling, nonsensical for the most part response, as we discussed in a previous video that you can go back and check out on this channel. He then attacks him later on in the week, calling for division in the Liverpool fan base, essentially, saying that Liverpool should not side with the player, but should side with the manager. And that if you are a real Liverpool fan, you will do exactly that. Arne Slot came out and said that basically things have been smoothed over for the most part. Salah was back in the team for Brighton. Salah played well in that game against Brighton, actually played the majority of the game and even got an assist to boot. And things seemingly were calm as Mohammed Salah went away to join up with his team for the African Cup of Nations. But on The Overlap, this whole saga, this whole situation has resurrected itself, and Jamie Carragher was seemingly more irritable the later the conversation went on. How can you tell this? Well, his voice went all high-pitched and squeaky, so it was clear that he was getting more and more annoyed at the fact that the panel were not agreeing with what he had to say. Now, I can't believe we are 2 weeks removed from this situation, not just in terms of how fast in my lifetime has gone from that point, but also the fact that it was only last week that everything had seemingly smoothed over. Everything had seemingly been dead and buried. The saga had no legs left within it, no fire left. It had seemingly been, for the most part, resolved, at least until Salah made return from the African Cup of Nations. But here we are discussing it once again because of The Overlap and because of Jamie Carragher. We're obviously going to go through the clip and stuff, but I, for one, cannot believe that this has come up again. So here is the clip in question. They brought it up here. The Overlap, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher. There's also Jill Scott around the table alongside Ian Wright and Roy Keane. Let's just play it and see what they have to say.
What you're describing there is a squad player leaving him out at Inter Milan playing against Sunderland. He's never going to accept that.
Well,
you're going to have a war. You're going to have a war.
Especially that kind of bring the war on. The most important thing's the team.
So instantly, bring the war on. He's doubling down already. Doubling down instantly on all of his points. Even though he did slightly backtrack. I seem to recall him slightly backtracking this past week when he basically gave Mo Salah his flowers for a good performance against Brighton and said that obviously on Sky Sports he should stay. I don't really get where Carragher's points lie in this. I'm not 100% sure what I don't even know if he knows exactly what his points are anymore. But he did slightly backtrack this past week on Sky.
And the club and getting results. And by the way, ever since Mo Salah's been off the team, they haven't lost.
No, but
right.
We also did lose to Galatasaray with him out the team. I'm just saying. And if you want to go down that route as well, past couple of games, Cody Gakpo hasn't been in the team. And yet we beat Inter and we beat Brighton. Not throwing Cody Gakpo under the bus here. I'm just saying that if you want to go down that route, we can go down that route with other common threads. Cody Gakpo hasn't been in the team the same way Mo Salah technically wasn't in the team for Inter and wasn't also in the team, at least starting, for Brighton. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Now, and he's trying to build almost some. We need to get confidence back as a Liverpool team where we actually feel secure.
Let him go in Carragher mode. He's in Carragher mode.
And then we can go on and try and get the goals. Mo Salah hasn't played well. I keep saying this. He's one of the greatest players for Liverpool. We love him. Player of the year last year. But right now, the most important thing is not individual players, is getting the team back. And that's all the managers do. Yeah,
but again, he fails to realise that, yes, Salah hasn't been playing well this season, or not by his own standards at least. But there's been so many others as well that have been below standard, below average, poor, underwhelming. But they still got game time, and plenty of it, and consistent game time as well. The only reason why I believe Cody Gakpo hasn't been in the team these past couple of games, for a prime example, is simply for the reason that he's been injured. Otherwise, I think Arne Slot would have played him. I'm just saying.
He's not sending a message to anybody.
But the debate isn't, Jamie, the debate isn't about, I think we're arguing about when he was left out, there was going to be, so this idea of the manager leaving him out of the team, the manager's entitled to do that. He's trying to get results. And again,
but he must know what it brings.
Yeah, no, the argument is going, when Salah's left out, get ready for fireworks.
You can tell he's getting more and more annoyed. The voice is going a bit more high-pitched by the minute, isn't it?
How you treat
There's going to be fireworks when he's left out.
Because I would say the reason Roy and Gary sometimes disagree about Man United is because Man United always treated you with respect. For Roy, they didn't. And I do think that, like, were you ever left out by a manager? Somebody, like, I think when he says thrown under the bus, I don't even think it's about playing time. It's how he's being treated. Yous were probably never treated like that by your club. If you go through that, you do have a different opinion. I do think that.
But he thinks the same thing as well.
I know, okay. How's he been?
So instantly, everybody disagrees with Carragher around this table, the same way that a lot of Liverpool fans disagreed with Carragher when he called for real Liverpool fans to back the manager over the player, and that real Liverpool fans would do that. I don't know why, but again, my suspicion was to call for division. And again, all of this comes a week after another Liverpool legend actually spoke some sense. A certain Steven Gerrard. He spoke some sense. He said that we shouldn't be divided. We should call for unity. The best thing for Liverpool Football Club is to come together, find a resolution to this situation and go, right, how can we now get back to winning ways on the pitch? Rather than divide us, we are better united in that kind of way. And that's what Gerrard basically called for. He spoke a lot of sense, and yet Carragher here went the complete opposite way, tried to divide the Liverpool fan base even more by saying, no, you must pick a side. It is player versus manager. It wasn't like that. It was bigger than that to begin with. It wasn't like it was player versus manager. But he went on this whole crusade about how there's a divide. He even tried to further the divide, in my opinion, with the article he put out last week. And now that no one is agreeing with him, you can tell he's getting more irritable. You can tell he's getting more annoyed. And with that high-pitched voice getting even higher and higher, you can tell the annoyance and frustration is building with Jamie Carragher here.
Disrespected.
Well,
he's been on the bench, right? For 6 days.
Yeah.
Sunday to Saturday. That 6 days. It was like his whole Liverpool career. He's been 3 times.
It's not just about that, though. Again, you're focusing on one specific part of the interview where obviously the best players are going to be annoyed at being on the bench, even if it is for a one-off game. But you're missing the overall point of why he was on the bench. Is because of the breakdown in communication with the manager, the lack of communication, other off-field things that he alluded to in that interview. There was so much in that interview that you were just ignoring, and you're basically just going, well, he was only on the bench for 3 games. Oh, throwing his toys out the pram because of that. You're missing the bigger picture, Carragher. Take a step back, make it so that what you hear and what you read actually processes through that brain and then come up with a more logical response. Because it's not just about him being on the bench for 3 games. It's about the lack of communication, the breakdown in the relationship with the manager, the breakdown in relationship seemingly between the club and Mo Salah. That was what the frustration boiled out to. It wasn't just purely about being on the bench for 3 games, honestly.
How Slot treating him away from the game?
Well, number one, we don't know that.
Yeah.
Mo Salah said, I've got no relationship with the manager.
That's what I mean.
I know. The manager then got asked about it. He said, I spoke to him on Friday about not playing the day before the game.
Yeah, but he
said he was in the office.
Him like every day, like you don't
You don't know that.
Yeah, but you don't.
But you don't know that either. We have to basically just take it from Arne Slot's word that things have been smoothed over for the most part as of right now. It probably wasn't going to be a healing process that would have taken a few hours. Maybe this has to be, okay, I'll trust you for now, but I obviously need to see things improve. I need to obviously see my points of view be taken on board and obviously be carried out by the manager, by the club. But we have to just take their word for it. Why are we going down this whole route of, well, we don't know that. We're just obviously guessing, and we're just obviously taking the word of someone else. You don't know that, Carragher. We've just got to take it at face value from right now until a further development happens. And if nothing happens, we know that everything that was said during that face-to-face between Carragher, the manager, the club, whoever, Salah, the manager, the club, whoever, was actually taken on board. And there were compromises maybe made on both sides. And there was a clear the air kind of situation, and things have been completely smoothed over. Until then, we won't know for sure, but just speculating upon it and going, well, we don't know if obviously what he's saying is true. It just doesn't make any sense to me what Carragher's point is here.
No, he's getting treated with respect.
I know, but you can't say he's getting disrespected.
I don't think he says that, Jamie, if he feels like he's being respected, though, in respects of like, respect and respect.
Yeah,
but the thing is, just because
the
he feels like that, the manager said he spoke to him. He could have said.
So if he feels like that, right, he's allowed to go out and just do what he wants.
No, it's not.
No. Should he have aired it publicly? No. Did he get punished for it? I imagine he did. But we're not entitled to know what that punishment was as fans. All we have is the word of Arne Slot saying it was dealt with. We've cleared the air. It's been resolved for the most part. Cool. We're not entitled to know what that information is. Obviously, if things, like I said earlier, if they spiral even more so, then we'll know that things haven't been taken seriously. If things die down now and there is radio silence on all of this, and this is just all done and dusted, then we know that those talks were effective. Speculating upon it, trying to cause more divide is not going to help this situation or the current fan base.
No, I'm just saying that.
But you need to be fireworks when he's left out, Jamie. You need to be a reaction.
Oh, yeah.
We're not agreeing with Salah, but you're going,
no.
As soon as you leave him out for 2, even if it's 6 days, he's going to react.
That's why I've just said, when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, you're probably playing at home against Sunderland, because for me, I wouldn't play him away in the Champions League game right now. I wouldn't. I've said that all season. I'd always play Mo Salah at home, and some away games I'd look at and think, no, that's not for me. And you're saying you can't leave Mo Salah. Well, you can, and it's more the team's more.
Well, there's a consequence. There's a consequence.
Well, he's not the Mo Salah of last season, is he? He's not. We know that. Okay. And the manager has prolonged it before he's left them out.
I mean, saying he's not the same Mo Salah as last season, when again you're missing bigger points of how the team is set up, the players that are around him are underperforming as well. Mo Salah is still one of our most creative outlets and all of that kind of stuff. Again, I just think it's poor analysis from Jamie Carragher in what is a very personal attack. And again, it just shows you how sensitive Jamie Carragher is, that we're basically a week removed from things being smoothed over, seemingly. And Jamie Carragher is still going on about it. He still feels very passionately about this. And obviously, he's still very, like I say, sensitive about this entire situation. He feels like it was a personal thing against him. even though Gerrard said, yeah, he shouldn't have done it the way that he did. But at the same time, I'd call for unity. I'd call for peace talks and all of that kind of stuff. I personally don't get it. It's very weird to me. But just the way that obviously he's not seeing the bigger picture here, the way that obviously he's not seeing or just failed to hear or read the fact that Salah, it's more to Salah than just being left on the bench for 3 games. It's about communication. It's about transparency. It's about respect. And the whole reason why Salah kind of went on the attack with this was because the fan reaction, the media reaction, and Carragher's part of it. Carragher's part of it because all of those things combined is what Carragher basically talks about when he talks about Mo Salah. The best clip of that entire monologue he did on Sky Sports last week was when he basically said, I've never personally criticised Mohammed Salah on the pitch. And the host turned around to him and went, well, you said his legs had gone a week or so ago. Because he did. And that's, again, what Mo Salah's talking about when he talks about being personally attacked, thrown under the bus. It's from certain sections of the fan base. I've seen them turn on Florian Wirtz in the past couple of days just because Ryan Shirky's actually starting to come to fruition at Manchester City. So the fan base is not entirely blameless here, but the fan base do it, the media does it, and he sees it from the club himself as well. All of this stuff is what Salah talked about in his interview, but Jamie Carragher is focused on one particular aspect, him being on the bench for 6 days, which again does not follow the principle of if you're playing poorly, I'll take you out of the team. You'll sit on the bench for a game or 2 or 3, depending on how the player that fills in for you does. All of that stuff combined is what Salah was talking about in his interview. But once again, Carragher goes on the attack because he name-dropped him in his interview. He's taken it personally. He's doubled down on his response. And rather than follow the Gerrard kind of route of calling for peace, calling for unity, he's decided to go the opposite way and go to divide the fan base. Saying that real Liverpool fans will side with their manager rather than the player is absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. Forcing teams to take sides. We're not Player FC. We're not Manager FC. We are for Liverpool Football Club, and we need what is best for Liverpool Football Club. And Jamie Carragher speaking like this, you can really tell he is like proper pundit Sky Sports level right now. Even though he was before. I've seen it. I've kind of called him out on it a few times in the past. I've not really been a massive fan of Carragher's punditry. But you can really see that this really did upset him. And the way that obviously people are not agreeing with him, he's not got the response or the reaction that he felt he would get when he put out that monologue on Sky Sports, when he put out that article last week, or when he's basically been around that table with people that he would probably consider friends. It's made him double down on his point. It's made him get more irritable, more irritated. And that's why his voice was going high pitch. He was getting more annoyed and frustrated. And that's why he's coming out with such nonsense like that. Anyway, those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Let me know in the comment section down below what you made about Jamie Carragher's comments and about this saga with Mo Salah. Should he just let it lie and keep it buried, or should he keep on going on the attack? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling. I think it's pretty obvious what the answer will be. But just in case there are a few strange people out there that want him to continue to go in on Salah and Liverpool, let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling there. Of course, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and probably be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.